Hi guys, hope you had a fantastic weekend. I did launch my live stream and I'm super excited about. It was fun. I'm planning to keep doing them, and Thursday, Friday next week I'm going to be live again. For the first half of the week I was right on price action every day. I did not take a trade. I had to manage my live streams and I honestly planned my trades a little bit different. So I respected my plan. Can't complain about this. But there was some clear and good setups to take, so let's get over those. Monday here in Asia, big move in the dead gap zone, which usually is recovered, targeting that demand. If you look here on the 5 minute, this was the setup. That candle that broke the 50. Usually you'd like on that break to see the middle peak of the M getting broken before you get that retest. That's why it was a bit aggressive in my opinion, but railroad track followed by two inverted hammer. I was eyeing this setup. Well, it just felt really aggressive on the 1 hour to trade to attack here when you'd probably want a breakdown of the EMAs and a retest to go short. So very aggressive short. It worked out on the 5 minute, and the real move I had in mind here was just a recovery of this sharp move that happened in the dead gap zone. It usually gets recovered in Asia or in UK, especially on a Monday. Respected my plan on this one, but the view was clear on the 5 minute to go short. Then if we stay on the 5 minute on the UK session, you had your drop level 1, retest of the 50, drop level 2, retest of the 200, aiming for drop level 3. You had a clear range created, and that inverted hammer here, retesting 50% of Sunday, and all the EMAs was a great entry for a short as well. My plan was for us to break that demand, create a breaker, retest it, and I would have entered that trade. Just my plan happened in the second half of UK when I'm not trading. The setup was quite aggressive on a stop hunt candle like this. Honestly, if you were just targeting the first Asia lows, there was only 1 hour trade, a little bit more. If you were targeting the weekend liquidity, not even the whole low of the weekend, this low here, Ethereum did not even grab it and went back to entry and quite into drawdown before dropping into the extension with that sharp move. So no regret on this one. Stuck to my plan. Didn't want to be too aggressive. This was actually my first live stream, so I was trying to manage everything at once and didn't want to do any mistake for my first stream. Tuesday Asia was the exact same setup. I was on stream here again, and I remember saying I want to see an M, a breakdown of that demand, which will turn into a breaker and a retest, and I'll be more confident to open my short here. So go check out that live stream if you want. It's I think a good live stream, especially that I was really tempted to jump onto a trade here on the 2 minute, and I'll just go through it now. But I stuck to my plan, so I'm happy about this. I stuck to my plan, even though like, it was a prime trade that I kept saying it, don't tempt me, don't tempt me. That zone only got retested at the end of the UK session here, so I didn't get the entry I wanted. And I said the only other option is we might drop down now and retest this zone. This is actually sort of what we got here with this breakdown. That candle that breaks the 50 EMA as well. Retest 50% of it. It's the NEM formation. It was quite kind of a prime setup. I fumbled that one. See how on Monday I was saying I'd rather see a break of the middle peak on that first drop that breaks the 50. This is exactly what happened here on Bitcoin. So that middle peak gets broken, and then you have a retest of 50% of that candle on that 50 EMA exactly here with that inverted hammer. And we'll dive just right in there because that's exactly where my 2 minute setup presented. So same setup here on the 2 minute time frame. This is my M on the 5 minute. My drop of the 50 is here on the 5 minute. Actually have a divergence between the two assets. You see here, Ethereum's taking the liquidity while Bitcoin is creating a lower high. So that's a really good confirmation. Bitcoin reclaim the previous week range, so it breaks back below and retest it here. Retest the daily open as well. Exact same thing on Ethereum. We are retesting the high of previous week from the underside. And my setup was here. Watch the stream, have a look. It's funny. I was looking at that M formation here. Had this bearish candle, bearish engulfing. And when this bearish engulfing printed, I said, if this next one closes as an inverted hammer, it's a really good setup. And it did. And I hesitated so much on taking that trade. The only thing that I wanted to see, like I stated before, is This setup appeared above that zone, and I would have liked to see a breakdown and a retest of that zone to get a little bit more confirmation. I do regret this one, but we live and learn. It takes note. It's good to see that I was right those first 2 days. It builds confidence. It shows me that my read of the market is good. I'd rather take no trades than take a loss. I can't tell as well how I would have managed that trade because we clearly started to break down, but instead of breaking that zone, which was my plan, we actually held it and came back up quite aggressively. So maybe I would have been break even at that point and I would have been stopped at break even. It's hindsight and you can't really tell. Wednesday in Asia, I said either this is a sweep because we were in a range on the higher time frame on the 4 hour, but we could have as well been creating that M formation on the 1 hour, rejecting the high of previous week, and that we were just gonna create a leg lower. So this was a drop level 1. I was expecting a drop level 2. Because we were in that range, I clearly saw that this sweep of liquidity, we had W formation here, and we were holding those trap traders, which is this week here. Exact same on Ethereum. 50% of that candle of that week is here. So nice W here. This is on stream as well. I said if we are to be bullish, I want to see price move up with a good displacement, volume, breaking the middle peak, breaking the EMAs, and maybe on a retest, I'm going to be keen to go long. I did hesitate a little bit in there to go long, but I refrained from it and respected my plan. But you can see on the stream as well that I said this W, if it was to fail, is going to create an M, and that's a good confirmation of continuation, and there might be a setup here. And this is exactly what we had. There's a clear sweep of liquidity on both assets, a breakdown below the EMAs, and a retest. I think I was looking too much at longs at that time, and I didn't see this short and I just missed the entry. This setup, railroad track, inverted hammer, I said this is really bearish. But because we could still bounce off this level and go up, it felt a little bit dangerous for me to open this trade. There were two scenarios. The second one played out. I just didn't execute on it. And again, that's okay. From here for the rest of the week, I was only trading UK because I was back at work. Nothing really good on Thursday. And it was potentially a trade here in UK for me on Friday. It's just not my best setup. I try to be very careful on Fridays as well. But when we retested the highest previous week for the third time, it was a high likelihood that we were going to break it. We rejected first. This became a breaker. We retested, but we didn't break down, and we held the 50 EMA on the 5 minute. So there was potentially long here. Felt a little bit ballsy, but the setup is here. So this is something I want to study, and I'm going to write it down and see for next time. When I have a breaker that fails and price reclaims it, on Ethereum, you have a nice W, final damage W, so it grabs the liquidity. And then here, you clearly reclaims that breaker that you did reject here. You just failed to go lower, grab the liquidity, break above, and retest it. And all this following the EMA. So the W that is below the EMA and a retest that is above the 50 EMA. It's not because there is a move within a session, a sharp move up, like this one here, that you have to take a trade. If your setup is not presenting, it is not presenting. You don't have to catch every move. What counts is just look back at it and see, did I miss a trade? Were there a setup there? Or was it just not part of my plan? If it was a setup or if it's not one of your setup, just study it. Look if you can find something, if you can refine your entries, if you can develop another setup. You just have to be patient for the moves that are the ones you're most confident on and that you can make a good trade out of. So that's it for today, guys. It was no trades for me this week, and I'll see you next one. Bye bye.